Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Clearwater Toyota, and guess what? I have that redesigned midsize sedan that a lot of people are talking about. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Toyota Camry. This particular one is the entry-level trim known as the Camry LE. But before we get into this fuel-sipping midsize sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Camry, it's been in Toyota's lineup for decades, and it always has been one of those top standout vehicles across the whole automotive market. Now, for this generation, they decided to do some big changes, and one of them is all of the Camrys, no matter what trim you get, are hybrids. Plus, on top of that, you can add all-wheel drive to all the different trims, including this LE. Now, this particular one is a front-wheel drive version, and I wanted to pick this one in particular because what I want to find out is the Camry LE the most fuel-efficient mid-size sedan hybrid available today? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our supersonic red Camry and find out. Right off the bat, I love this color. No matter what trim Camry it's on, it's got such a nice pop of color. At the front of the business, you'll see that updated headlight design, very similar to what they're running on the Prius LED projector beam headlight, and really sporty and sleek on all the angles. Now, working our way down, you do have functional corner air curtains, and I love the way there's no gloss black on the front of this LE trim. Be careful though, don't compare apples to oranges. We need to keep this even Steven, no pun intended, Steven, even Stevens when we're comparing it to the Sonata hybrid and the Honda Accord hybrid, and look at the base trim. This is the base trim. So we're gonna make sure that when we review this car, we're gonna keep reminding you of that. But love that sporty style as we come across that large lower grille opening. It is fully functional, and you do have your flat black. It's interesting how, like I said in many other reviews with new Toyotas, they're getting very similar in style to some of the Lexus vehicles, and those lines are getting blurred a little bit, but the way that they work the lower grille looks good. I like the way the supersonic red finishes off that lower lip, and the fact that it's all the same material. Flat black up on the bottom, and then up top you are going to get some functionality as well right below where that Toyota badge is. But let me know what you think about the face of this new Camry. It's one of those things that when you look at the Honda Accord, a lot of people do not like the look of the new Accord, especially when comparing it to this vehicle. Now, as we rise up, love the way they took those indentations from the front, brought it into the hood, gives it a nice modern style without looking too geometric like some of the designs from Hyundai. Now, as we come around the bend, here's one of those things I'm going to remind you that this is an LE trim. This is your base wheel. It is an aluminum wheel, so no steel wheel with a hubcap. V-spoke design, metallic silver, does pop nicely with the supersonic red, but it is a 16-inch wheel. Now, the reason why they did that is that a larger wheel is going to give you less fuel economy. So 16-inch wheel, you have a beefy sidewall on this thing. It is a 65 series sidewall, but if you're looking for a daily transportation, or maybe somebody is new to driving in your family, this is definitely going to take a better beating when they bump into a curb than if you had a 20-inch wheel. But remember, this is LE trim. Ours is front-wheel drive. You can get an LE in all-wheel drive. And like I said, tires, 205 on the width, 65 series sidewall. Now, coming down the side, you do get color mesh on the mirror caps. A little bit of chrome with your LED turn signals. And then from the side, this is a mid-size sedan. It is a little bit larger than the Toyota Corolla. Up top, everything nicely painted, even painted on the door handles. These are areas that sometimes on certain base models, you get just flat black on your door handle. So it's nice to have the supersonic red, even on the lower side skirt extension all the way down. And then coming towards the rear, you got a nice little large quarter window. I can do without this gloss black here, so I am gonna zonk this, but nice size on the quarter window. Coming towards the rear, we spin it around back. You're actually gonna get a very tasteful trunklet spoiler. And then you see all the nice badging, all the same finish. Even the way they did the taillights, very sporty, very sleek, just like what they have up front. And then working our way down, same thing on the lower bumper area. Just very, very clean. Everything painted up top and a little bit of flat black along the bottom. But let me know what you think about the new look to the Camry. Let's go. We're gonna go pop the hood and talk about MPGs. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not gonna zonk it on the LE trim. Underneath the hood is that tried and true power plant. That is that naturally aspirated 2.5 liter inline four paired to the electric motor to produce 184 horsepower, 163 pound-feet of torque. It utilizes a 0.6 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack, direct drive transmission, 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. The vehicle weighs 3,450 pounds, but here's where you come out on top. MPGs, 53 in the city, 50 on the highway, and 51 combined. That's in a mid-size sedan. So that's really where the LE, specifically the LE front-wheel drive, really flexes its muscle, is with that 53 MPGs in the city. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it roll. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Toyota Camry LE. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, let me know. I gotta know how much is it, because I'm looking for a new daily driver and I need to get good MPGs because I'm gonna be driving a lot and the price of gas seems to be just going up and up. So how much is this one? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right at $32,000. Believe it or not, starting MSRP is at 28 grand. So obviously supersonic red, that's an upcharge. It's $495. This also has a convenience package. Things like that add to the bottom line. But starting MSRP is $28,000 for a Camry LE. But let's see how it stacks up base trim to base trim with the competition to the door panels. I do like the fact that you're getting soft touch material up top. There is some cloth, but it's not a lot. And it does balance nicely, the black with the gray cloth. No gloss black around the switchgear. Soft on the armrest. And that door pocket is a little on the tight side. Maybe 2 cheeseburgers from Mickey D's and a Pepsi, or I should say a Coca-Cola, to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, all the Camrys do get a little bit of gloss black in the center here. It's nothing crazy, and you're not going to be touching it because it blends the AC vents in really well, and it's easy to control those AC vents. Soft touch, a little bit of that cloth. Slide on in. This is your standard 7-inch infotainment system. It doesn't bother me because we already have screens everywhere. It's integrated, clean. It's got the functions that you want, the technology that you need. It's all touch screen, which is great. You can go into you can set up your different driver profiles. It's very intuitive to use, and you can even adjust your climate control on the screen if you want to. And then we're right back to where we started, right there. 80s on 8, baby. Throw it into reverse. Resolution is actually pretty clear, to be honest with you, and you could make your adjustment whether you wanted to have the lines, not have the trajectory, whichever way you want. You want wide. Takes up all 7 inches though, which is good. Real volume knob. You got your dual climate. Let me turn the AC on here. More easy to use AC vents. Down below we got wireless charging on an LE trim, USB-A, 2 USB-Cs. a place for 2 Costco hot dogs, 2 cup holders. You got your Camry key fob, because it says Camry on it. That's how I know that. Oops, I got Butterfingers. There's your buttons, really easy to access. You got your little panic when you're freaking out. 3 different modes, Eco, Normal, and Sport. This is going to control that direct drive transmission. And then soft on the armrest. Lift this up. You do get a 12 volt in here. And you have enough room to where you could put 2 Long John Silver's tackle boxes in here. So the reason why I think it's important to talk about the food in this car, in the storage areas, more so than normal, is because with the MPGs you're getting, you're not gonna be stopping at the gas station very long. And you're not gonna be stopping at a gas station very much. So you wanna make sure you got the food and the snacks all in their storage areas for the drive. And then finally, the cloth seats. It's tasteful, it's good material. I like the way they added a little bit of design up top. All manual seat controls. Remember, this is the base LE trim on the passenger side, on the driver's side. And they went with a lighter headliner. I'm okay with it because I didn't do beige. I can't stand a beige headliner. Well, why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you the digital display in this LE Camry. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Now, standard on a Camry LE are the manual seat controls for the passenger and the driver. This one has a convenience package, which does add electric seat controls, power seat controls to the driver's seat. So that is something that you could take it or leave it. It's kind of nice to have the power seat adjustment because it is a seat that's more adjustable than your manual control seat. But either way, the seats are very comfy. They actually redesigned the seat frame, and the seat cushion for the pushing of your body is very well done. I'm 6 feet tall, lots of room in here. Steering wheel, my only zonk is that it has the rubber design to it. I wish that they would at least do like vinyl maybe. I know that this is an LE, that just would have been a nice touch, but you got flat black on most of the switchgear. It does have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and then you do have a digital gauge cluster in the center that you could scroll through a cornucopia of information. We got our adaptive cruise, and then of course all the Toyota sensing technology, even your energy monitor to see how that hybrid system is working. But you have your Toyota Sensing 3.0 plus all the safety features and that power gauge. Really nice setup, and on top of that, the 3 different drive modes. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna be sitting pretty in this Camry LE. All right, guys, back seat time. And this is one of those things that the Camry brings a ton of space. The Accord and the Sonata do a good job as well, but there's a ton of room back here, even with the lithium-ion battery pack being in the back seat area. I'm not even close to the headliner. You do get pockets on both sides, so this is where you're gonna wanna keep maybe some books. You know, it's always nice to have the kids do some real reading in books that have pages that are made out of paper. And remember, paper comes from trees instead of using a Kindle or your phone or whatever. And then you do have your AC vents and 2 USB. So you have a USB-A and a USB-C. But it's nice to have the rear AC back here, and you got your dual pockets, which are great. When it comes to books, I love autobiographies. Right now I'm reading an autobiography about Mark Donahue, and it's called The Unfair Advantage. Highly recommend that book. Sitting here comfy. Even on the LE, you do get a center armrest that's as soft as a freaking marshmallow with 2 cup holders and the same seat design, which is nice, as the people sitting up front. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the trunk and see what we can stuff in this hybrid Camry. All right, guys, junk in the trunk time. We're just gonna hit the button. What's great is that even though this is a sedan, you still get 15 cubic feet of space. The rear seats do fold down 60-40 split, and they have those nice little easy access handles to pull to get those seats to fold down. Plus, underneath, you do get a spare. So lots of brands getting rid of their spares, especially in hybrids to save weight, but you do get a spare in this Camry. But let's go ahead. We got a base LE trim, but let's take it for a spin and see how it drives. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota Camry LE. Getting out onto the highway, this is where I think a lot of people are gonna spend a lot of their time because of just how efficient this vehicle is. It's incredible to think that a mid-size sedan gets you 53 miles per gallon in the city. To me, that's so mind-blowing. Now, what you're gonna love is just how smooth and how comfortable this Camry drives. And what's fascinating is that even though the 16-inch wheels may not be your favorite, it's because of those really thick sidewalls that help it have a more comfortable, quieter ride. Because as you increase your wheel diameter and the tire sidewall gets skinnier, that gives you a more harsh, noisier ride. So just something to think about when you're in the comment section going, this thing only has 16-inch wheels. It does have its benefits, and they are actual aluminum wheels. It's nice to see that on base versions of vehicles, a lot of manufacturers are moving away from just doing steel wheels with hubcaps. Visibility out the front is fantastic. Getting to that 7-inch infotainment system screen is well within reach, and it may seem a little small at first, but like I said, we got enough screens all over the freaking place. There's plenty of usability with that infotainment system. Seats are comfy, and what I love about Toyota is that they have so much experience with the hybrid power plant that when you're driving this car, you really can't tell when the engine is turning on and off. It's not like it's this herky-jerky kind of sensation. It's very smooth. And the fact that this 2.5 liter inline 4 has been around for so long, they are bulletproof. Dash, same thing. Very simple, very straightforward. You got your 3 different modes, including a sport mode, and that's gonna adjust, remember, steering sensitivity, throttle sensitivity, things like that. But it really is a very comfortable, very easy car to drive. And that's why I say, whether you're new to driving, or you have a new driver in your family, or you're gonna be, you know, packing on the mileage because of work or because of your kid's busy soccer practice and baseball and swim and all this other stuff, this thing is going to rack on the mileage very well with great efficiency. And even though this one does have a couple add-on options like the color and the convenience package, it's still a lot less than what a lot of other vehicles are starting out with MSRP wise when it comes to a mid-size. That's another thing you gotta remember. This is a mid-size. This is not a compact. Compact is gonna be the Camry, and if you're looking at a Camry LE hybrid, you're looking around $23,000 starting. So that's where you're seeing the difference, but that's a smaller vehicle. But let's go on throttle from a roll. On throttle, here we go. You know, with the initial torque from the electric motor of the hybrid system, it actually feels faster than what the numbers say. 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. I mean, you're not gonna blow anybody's doors off, but it actually feels quite peppy for the type of vehicle that it is. And it's just a very smooth driving vehicle with all the right tech that you want, and at a price that's a little bit more palatable than what a lot of other vehicles are going for nowadays. But with an efficiency that just smoke checks the competition. But I like the work that they've done to the steering rack for this redesigned Camry. Better communication, doesn't feel so floaty. And you know, I think that also helps with the cost, is that even though, yes, it's sad that the V6 is gone, having all the different trims be hybrid helps lower the cost of all the trims across the board. So that's another nice thing to think about as well. But you do get dual climate in this base trim, and the amount of connectivity is also really nice in here, including the wireless charging. But let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Now it doesn't have any kind of simulated shifting. So when you do go on throttle, it's just going to peg the revs. But most people are not going to be going on throttle much, because most people are gonna want to get that 53 mpgs, or average city and highway combined 51 mpgs. Like I said, it still shocks me that I'm using the number 5 for combined. They really know their hybrid stuff over at Toyota, that's for sure. But everything, as to be expected, is well laid out. Everything feels well put together. I'm not getting any creaks or rattles or anything like that. And even the back seat area, just super comfy. Plus you got the rear AC and you got the connectivity back there. But I'm hoping that this has been a good quick overall review of what the Camry LE is bringing. We're gonna get back to Clearwater Toyota and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Clearwater Toyota. Definitely gotta thank Steven Venzania and the rest of the team here for getting us access to this supersonic red Camry LE. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is this the one to buy if you want a midsize that has the best fuel efficiency, or are you gonna go with one of the competitors? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. I'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Got to give it up to our very own Stephen Flood, working that camera like a champ. One of these days, I'm going to buy him a new hat. He needs a new hat. Maybe we could all root in the comment section that he'll buy himself a new hat. Let him know in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.